Well, hey there, happy innovators. How are you all doing today? I hope that you're doing good. Are you ready for another episode of Mike TV? I hope so, because that's what we're going to do today. And for those listeners that are kind of just tuning into this for the first time, I can explain to you really quick that Mike TV is really just an opportunity for me, Michael Bostwick from Pipewire Records, to share with my fans and my subscribers to my podcast and to my YouTube channel, to share music with them that I enjoy a lot. It's just that simple. So without further ado, we're going to get right into the music today. The first song that I want to start out with is a song by, yes, of course, U2. It's a song that started out the Achtung Baby album, track number 1, a song called Zoo Station. And we're going to start with that today. Not necessarily because Zoo Station is one of their better songs, but I do think that it was really kind of a good example of how U2 was really good at reinventing their sound and reinventing like kind of the package that we would know as U2, the rock band. So without further ado, here we go. Zoo Station by U2. It's crazy sounding already. What was that? Is that drums? Listen to that. Totally just distorted and, blown out, Really unique snare drum sound from Larry Mullen Jr. here. That kind of overtone, that ringing kind of snare drum. It got my attention right away when I first heard this song, I'll tell you that much. Very unusual sound from U2's, recognizable style. This is a total breakaway from that. And they famously talked about that a lot when this album came out. It was a conscious decision to change. Good lyrics. Distortion on Bono's $1 million voice, Taking a lot of chances, for a band that was as successful as they were when this came out. I mean, the world was waiting for this album. It was post Joshua Tree, post Rattle and Hum, and there was a large gap of time in between. I think a lot of the fans, even myself, were kind of like taken aback a little bit by how different it sounded. The fans of U2 were not expecting this sound. But it's interesting to listen to it now, at least to me anyway, because a lot of the things that U2 is doing in this mix on this song, with this production, other bands went on to replicate in the future. Like it started with this album, with this song, and the songs on this album, and other bands copied it. Ringing, distorted snare drum sound is something I would say is an example of that. Cool double vocal, like a gang vocal with Edge and Bono here. Excellent lyrics for what they're trying to convey. So well done. Of course, this song was the opener on the album Achtung Baby, and it was also what they started their concert with when I saw them on this tour. And it was perfect. It was great. It was great. The best concert I've ever been to. The best live concert I've ever seen. The U2 Zoo TV tour. That snare drum. Pow, pow, pow. Like technically like wrong sounds, you know? Kind of deconstructing. What a great opening track, you know? So, now, onward and upward we go. Track number 2 today is a song by a group called Van Halen. Oh my gosh, these guys rock. I'm sorry, but I'm going to play Unchained because I just don't know if it gets any better than this. And I mean, if you talk about a song having rocket sauce, this one it's like the epitome of that. So here we go. I'm not even going to talk too much. This is Van Halen, Unchained. Like the greatest riff ever. Oh, listen to that. Oh, man. I mean, get up off your seat. I mean, this is like... I love how David Lee Roth is almost like talking. He's not really singing, you know? And it always sounds like it's a party, you know? With every Van Halen song, it's like a party. There will never be another band like this. Ever. There's like so much great happening all at once. And like for the first time, you know, like when this song was released, you know, to the public for the first time, nobody sounded like this, ever. And they still don't. Wow. It's so large, you know. Such a big sound from such a small group of people. Of course, his solos, you know, crazy. Rewriting guitar history as it's being played, you know. Goes into this funny part right here. Like always that kind of whiff of humor with everything they did. You know, my wife and I still say this right here.
Come on, Dave, give me a break.
Give me a break. One break. My wife and I say that to each other now, even to this day. I say, oh man, give me a break. And she'll go, one break, coming right up. Listen to that. So hard to believe that a band can be that good, that original, that trend setting. One group can come from out of nowhere and do that. Think about it. It's amazing. So next up, we've got a kind of a strange turn we're going to take. I'm going to share with you a track from a group called Jesus Jones. They were from England, the UK, and it's a song called The Right Decision. And I always liked Jesus Jones. I liked their sound. I know it was really electronic and really kind of, artificial. It had that kind of sound to it. But I liked their music a lot. And they had a lot of good songs. This is one of them. And I saw them in concert, and they were fantastic in concert. So without further ado, here we go. The Right Decision by Jesus Jones. Check this out. Back in the days when sampling was brand new, It's okay though to me. Like, I don't mind the electronic sounding things, What I do like about Jesus Jones is that everything they did was so rhythmic, If you listen to this song and this production, there's so much rhythm happening that for a drummer, it's like heaven. Every sound you hear is rhythmic. Listen to this right here. Right here. It's just everything in this mix is like mathematical, It's a drummer's playground, like in my mind, His voice is good too, and the lyrics are great too. One of those songs that just gets forgotten, got overlooked. I saw these guys in concert, and they were great. They were really good live. And the Stereo MCs opened up. It was a good night. It was a good show. I like this line right here. Sounds so cool to me. Good vocals, good voice, different. It's a unique singing voice. We're coming up to this middle 8 section here, this breakdown right here. So rhythmic. Get it wrong, get it right. You can try as hard as you like, but there's no such thing in the world as the right decision. Interesting. So well done. So different too. It's probably hard for people to imagine that are hearing this for the first time how different this actually sounded compared to a lot of the music that was coming out at this time. Early 90s, I bought every album that Jesus Jones put out, and I never had any problem with like pop music, liking pop music and stuff, and I actually saw them in concert, like I mentioned, and they were fantastic. They really were, and they just kind of disappeared after a while. They weren't in vogue anymore, and that kind of thing doesn't play with me. Good is good, and as far as I'm concerned, that was pretty good. Now we're going to take another strange turn here. I'm going to share with you a song by a group called Sugar Ray that many of you probably know of or remember. And I'm going to play for you a song called RPM, which was the opening track off their debut album. And as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't sound anything like the rest of the music on the album. But when I first kind of heard this song, I was shocked that it was them. I couldn't believe that they would make something that sounded this heavy and this tough. And, it's got that whiff of humor in it too, which I like. So without further ado, here we go. RPM by Sugar Ray. Check this out. Excellent drum recording. Listen to this. The snare drum. It's kind of funny, like the race car thing, RPM. Now listen to this right here. You ready? Oh, yeah. Check that out.
You will recover when you discover, baby, there is no other. When you recover, baby. And when the mood is right, you'll get it every night. Go on and play it like
Sounds so tough to me.
You're beautiful.
And kind of funny at the same time. Kind of like the same sentiment as that song Disappointed by PIL. I Will Let You Down, Like I said, kind of like this silly, kind of funny bit.
Into another.
Not taking itself too seriously.
There is no other.
Right here, you ready?
Yeah.
Take it down. I love how the guitar mimics his voice. I will. Wah, wah. It's pretty messed up, Pretty funny. Again, it's got this weird whiff of humor to it. So hard for me to believe it's the same band that sang all those corny pop songs, Pretty cool. The breakdown, race car thing again. But listen to this here, how there's a call and response. Ready? And the guitar mimics it. And the guitar. Pretty cool. Bam. Good. Pretty cool. Cool production. What an ending. Cool. The engine, revving down, Pretty good. That's a go-to song for me sometimes when I just want to rock out, And like I said, I'm not a huge Sugar Ray fan, but I like that track. So anyway, here we go. Onward and upward. We have a song by a group called Electrofiction. It's a group that features members of Echo and the Bunnymen. It was kind of like a side project they did. And it was a little bit heavier than Echo and the Bunnymen, and just some really masterfully recorded guitars and drums on this record, and some masterfully written songs as well. And this song here I'm going to play for you is called Sister Pain. It's one of the better tracks on this record, and actually it brings back a lot of memories. It was a lot of fun when this album came out, and I was on the road a lot with bands that I was drumming in, and this was in the van, you know, on the stereo while we were driving around the East Coast and up into Canada and stuff. And you know, it was just a kind of like, I guess this music was like a bonding kind of thing with me and a couple of the guys I was jamming with. You know, we were really into this, and it was a lot of fun. So without further ado, here we go. Electrofiction, Sister Pain from the Burned album. Check this out. Listen how unusual those guitars sound. It sounds, to me anyway, this sounds like so British, you know? But it's heavy. But melodic at the same time, I guess. The guitar sounds on this record, track for track, I mean, they just did so much with the guitars. Sounds so cool to me. I love this song. I love how it's like raw, you know, it's not overproduced. It's like rock. It's rock and roll, you know. Good drum recording, good band, you know, like a trio of guys that are just rocking out. Overdriven bass guitar, you know, fuzz. Awesome drum beat. And Ian McCullough's voice is so excellent. Listen to this here. This middle 8 section. So much cool stuff happening. Then back to this. A lot of interesting guitar stuff. Almost kind of like funny, this part right here. Bum, 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 pow. It's like stoner rock, you know? But this came out in the 90s, you know, it's not from the 70s, it's from the 90s. So it had a different veneer, you know. Back to the verse, last verse. Pretty damn cool, man. Yeah, a friend of mine that turned me on to this, you know, in the beginning was saying that he thought that this was the British response to Seattle. And I think that's right. I can hear that. This came out at the same time like Nirvana was huge and Soundgarden and all that stuff was happening. This album popped up on the other side of the pond, you know? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Never had the chance to see Electrofiction in concert. I regret that. Because I don't think that they're making albums anymore. So different, so cool, you know, just one of those songs that, just to me anyway, will never get old. And it's like traveling back in time. Like as soon as I hear it, I'm immediately back in, 1998 or something in the van with the band driving to the gig, a lot of good memories there. So anyway, the next track that I'm going to play for you is a track by a group called The Tea Party. They were a Canadian band, a trio, and I got turned on to them because of that channel that used to be on cable called Much Music. It was like the Canadian version of MTV, and it was fantastic. And I, just by happenstance, happened to be watching Much Music before band practice one day on a TV in our studio, and I heard of these guys. I heard a song by them, and I was a fan right away. I thought they were fantastic. They had a song called Fire in the Head, and it was like unlike anything else that I had heard before. It was so awesome. But this track that I'm going to share with you is maybe a couple of years later, an album that they released called Transmission. And this album was like a turning point for me at the time that it came out. And I'll get into it more once we're into the music. So without further ado, here we go. This is The Tea Party, okay? And the song is called Pulse. It's from an album called Transmission. Check this out. Oh, I love how this song starts. I love this band. I love this band. Listen to those fat drums. Very live sounding drums, Such cool guitar playing and cool sounds.
I saw a face in the mirror. It made my blood run clear.
This singer sounds a lot like Jim Morrison, and I'm not sure if that's intentional or not. I've heard rumors that this guy who's singing, his name is Jeff Martin, is actually a child of Jim Morrison. He's an illegitimate child of Jim Morrison or something. I've heard that. I don't know if it's true. But listen to his voice. It's pretty close. Now listen to this drumming. It sounds so awesome. Now, when this album came out, when I first got it, I was already a fan of The Tea Party, but it was at a time when I was making a critical decision about continuing to play in a band that I was playing in at the time. I was considering quitting the band. And this album helped me make that decision because the guys in the band that I was with hated this album. They hated this band. And I kind of figured to myself, if they hate this, and this is the direction I think I would want to go in as a drummer, I might want to consider exiting the situation. Like, maybe they don't know what good is, True story. Oh, I love this album. It's such a great album. Not every song on it is awesome, but there's a lot of awesome songs. Out of the 10, there's probably 5 songs that are just jaw-dropping, This is one of them. Oh, the lyrics are so cool. Some heavy, heavy stuff he's singing about. Unusual ending for a song, too. Check this ending out. It just kind of like devolves into just a simple drum thing. Chaos, 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 you know. And then it strips down. Just drums and some weird guitar thing. Unusual way to end a song. Check this out. Isn't that great? I love that band and that song in particular. There's a couple of gems though on that record, and they've got a lot of really good music that I'm sure in the future I'll be sharing with you. But I hope that you like that as much as I do. And next up, I got a pretty funny idea. Actually, I'm going to share with you some Tom Petty today. A classic Tom Petty song, Running Down a Dream. But just before that, I'm going to share with you this little kind of like interlude that Tom Petty included on the Full Moon Fever album that this Running Down a Dream is taken from. And like right in the middle of the record, he drops this thing where he's talking to the listener about flipping the vinyl version of the album over, and I just thought it was funny that he would do that, so I'm going to let you hear that first, and then we'll go into Running Down a Dream. So here we go. Tom Petty doing this goofy kind of like album interlude. Check this out.
Hello, CD listeners. We've come to the point in this album where those listening on cassette or records will have to stand up or sit down and turn over the record or tape. In fairness to those listeners, we'll now take a few seconds before we begin side 2. Thank you. Here's side 2.
Totally awesome, like just in the middle of this album. Something silly and funny like that. And then it goes into, of course, this classic song. So here we go. Tom Petty, Running Down a Dream. I love this song. Here we go. I miss this guy.
I had the radio on. I was driving. Trees went by. Me and Del were singing Little Runaway. I was flying.
This song is like a favorite of a lot of the people in my family. It makes me think of them when I hear it. Brings a smile to my face, Oh, they love this guy. My sister-in-law, she loves this guy.
Like anything was possible. Hit cruise control and rub my eyes. The last 3 days, and the rain was unstoppable. It was always cold.
Straight drum beat,
No sunshine.
Get it.
Never would come to me.
Get it.
Working on a mystery.
Get it.
Going wherever it leads. Running down a dream.
Mike Campbell on guitar, He's one of the only guitar players that I can think of that whenever I watched him perform, he was performing these songs verbatim. They were exactly like the studio. He didn't deviate, didn't add notes. It's like he played what he played, and he did it perfectly. Every time I saw him. Like reliable, Such a great guitar player. Such a great story behind this band, too. How they got started, where they came from. It's no wonder they wound up making songs that sound this good. It's like this is the sound of the American highway, the freeway, driving on the freeway in America. This is the sound of that, in my opinion. Hauling ass down the freeway, man. The windows down. I wonder if when they were recording this song, if they knew it was going to be a hit. Like, were they in the control room just looking at each other like laughing? Like, this is going to explode on the radio. Because it did. It still does. They play this song every day on every radio station all around the world. It will probably never disappear. Listen to that guitar. And like I said, when he performs it live, it sounds exactly like this. You know, it's perfect. Mike Campbell is like perfection when it comes to playing the guitar. No mistakes, no changes. He plays what he recorded. He plays what you remember in the song. Yeah, we really lost something when Tom Petty died. We really did. A lot of good, rockin', fun music, came to an end. But it lives on here at Mike TV, Running Down a Dream by Tom Petty. Now, next up, I'm going to share with you a track from a group called Nazareth. It was from an album called Hot Tracks that I had when I was really, really little. And I'm talking like 5 years old, okay? And I liked this song. And it's a song called This Flight Tonight. It was written by Joni Mitchell, and it was covered by Nazareth. And what's also interesting is that this cover version of the Joni Mitchell song inspired the song Barracuda by Heart. And I'm sure you'll get it once you hear the music start. So without further ado, here we go. This is a song called This Flight Tonight by Nazareth from the Hot Tracks Greatest Hits album. So here we go. Check it out. Can you hear the Barracuda thing, It takes me back in time to, when I was like 5 years old,
It wasn't the one that you gave to me that night down south between the trailer. Not the early one that you wish upon. Not the northern.
I like this guy's voice. It's got like a little bit of AC/DC in it to me. Like a little bit of Bon Scott. Or a little bit of Brian Johnson. And I find it interesting that these guys, that were a considerably, heavy band for the time, would cover a Joni Mitchell song. It speaks to the Joni Mitchell, sphere of influence, Can you hear Barracuda? Can you hear it? What an unusual song. Fantastic. Viva la 1976 or 77, whenever this was. Oh, I was just a little kid, you know, and I already loved music, you know. It makes me laugh to even think about it now. I was so little. I was such a little baby, a little kid.
I'm drinking sweet champagne, got the headphones up high. Can't dump you, can't drop you out.
Check this out right here. What is that? It's like out of nowhere, then right back in. Pretty cool. A lot of good ideas. I mean, listen to this guy's voice. It's really got some pipes. As a singer myself, I find it difficult to like scream in key, you know? I'm always impressed when singers can do that. Cool ending. Oh, I love it. It's like a trip down amnesia lane to my younger days. So, onward and upward we go. I have a song for you now from a group called Last Crack. It's a group that I've been talking a lot about in my podcasts for my album descriptions, and you know, they just you know, were one of those groups that had a lot of impact on me, especially when this album came out. It was an album called Burning Time, and it was released on Roadrunner Records, and my brother Steve was friends with one of the A&R people at Roadrunner Records, and you know, he was privy to a lot of the music that they were releasing on that label. Like, you know, he was getting copies of albums like ahead of everybody else, you know, and this was one of those albums. And truthfully, I would never have heard of Last Crack if it wasn't for my brother Steve. And what's cool about Last Crack, okay, they were from Madison, Wisconsin, okay, and they were like an art rock metal band. They had this singer who went by the name Butto, which I'm pretty sure was kind of like a mashup with the name Buddha and the name Bono, because of course, you know, U2 was huge at the time. So this guy went by the moniker Butto, and he was this really outrageous, wild kind of like art guy. You know, he was pretty extreme, and also it was done with this kind of bit of humor and sarcasm. You know, his art, and you know, his performances on stage were not just vocal performances. He would incorporate a lot of performance art, you know, into his performances. So it was like a little bit of art, a little bit of metal, a little bit of interesting, and a little bit of political and funny. You know, there was a lot of stuff going on in the politics, you know, with the Iraq War and all that kind of stuff, for those of you who remember. So I won't talk about it too much more, but this track that I'm going to share with you right now is a track called Mini Toboggan, which is kind of like an outrageous name for a song, you know, but it's really an interesting track, not only musically and the way it's arranged and performed and recorded, but the theme of this song is kind of like a hearkening back to this guy Butto's childhood in Madison, Wisconsin, with his little brother and his little sister, and they're out on the snow, you know, on their mini toboggan. So I won't talk about it too much. We'll just get into it. So this is Mini Toboggan by the group Last Crack, and it's from the album Burning Time. Check this out. Cool, like stark intro. sounds like snow. It sounds like cold, desolate. It's like art metal, this song, this group, really. Unusual song arrangement. You'll see what I mean.
Our old house, Jefferson. When the old church rings, 3:30. Jen and I went out right after school in the snow. A bundle warmly out to our hill to build the jump with bales of hay and icy water. A totter's ready with mini toboggan. A fearless little man with a mini toboggan. He pops to his belly, but in the snow, and he goes. Ooh, and he goes.
He's singing about sledding with his little brother and his sister. That's all he's singing about. It brings back a lot of memories in my own life of doing the same thing. I grew up in Northeast Ohio on the shores of Lake Erie, and it was cold and snowy, and we went sledding and we did all that stuff. And
Evel Knievel had nothing on him.
good lyrics.
20 or more times into the cold blue sky. Well, he goes.
You hear that whiff of Bono from U2
Do it again.
in his vocals,
Do it again. Tighter gathers scattered limbs and scoots to the top of the hill again.
Simple theme,
To challenge all our icy dreams.
playing in the snow as a child with his brother and sister. In the middle of this art rock album, nice change. And the word home, There's a part of all of us that's like that, I guess.
Home in the crystal winter kingdom. Home in the country's finest farmland. Two brothers and a sister we could fly.
Do you see what I mean about it being like an unusual arrangement, like for a song? A lot of interesting stuff happening, weird changes. This is just one of many fabulous song productions on this record. So many good songs.
Skeleton trees, brittle fingers and breath that steams. A silent winter sky that slowly dies and
I can picture it in my mind. There's something about that, growing up in the Midwest as a child and having the snow, that season where it was desolate and cold and dark. It made for a lot of exciting play as a child and mystery and kind of like a little bit of danger because it's cold and, foreboding, It lives in this song to me. My own memories of my own childhood. Very well done. Very cool idea for a song theme.
When the school bus finally brings us home, bundled warmly
In the drifts of snow. He whispers it, you know. From a whisper to a scream, you know, he can do that. This guy was really, really good. His vocal range was fantastic. Fades out and goes into another track that I'll share with you at some other time. But for now, having thoroughly enjoyed Mini Toboggan by Last Crack from the album Burning Time, we're going to move on to one of my favorite groups of all time, probably my number 2 or my number 3. It's a group called The Mission UK, and it's a song called Belief from the album Carved in Sand. And this track, Belief, is one of my favorite songs by them, but it was not one of their singles. It was one of the songs on the album that was, you know, just the throwaway, you know? And, I think it sounds fantastic. I love the guitars, I love the vocals, I love the lyrics, especially the lyrics and the singing and the guitars. I love it all. I love it all. So let's check it out. Belief by The Mission UK from the album Carved in Sand. Check this out. It's cool, like a halftime kind of drum beat. Kind of slowly arrives, you know. Good guitar work. I love those guitars. Let's listen to this right here. Okay. Slow groove, you know. Pow, boom, pow, pow. This drummer, he's so underrated. His name is Mick Brown. He's such a great drummer, so tasty, so tasteful. His lyrics are like poetry. Great lyrics. Listen to this. Wisdom comes when the heart suffers long. I mean, he has so many one-liners like that in his lyrics for all of his songs. I'm on the side of angels. Listen to this guy's voice, man. Listen to this. I can see hope in the wind and the rain. Listen to the guitars. Oh, it's so well done. Great lyrics. Listen to his voice right here. Here we go, ready? shall inherit the earth. Oh, what a great line. You can tell this guy is well read. You know, there's a lot of classic literature popping up in his lyrics. I love when he freaks out, when he's like screaming, you know, guttural. There's something about that when the human voice is like projecting that loud and that like aggressively. That's very compelling, at least to me. Nice guitar work. Nice. Kind of resolves back to this. A lot of cool sound effects happening. Let's check this out. Interesting. Good ideas. Subtle, but it's like weird, trippy. And if I have to explain, then you'll never understand. Great lyrics, man. It's whispered in the wind and echoed through the trees. Listen to that production. It sounds so good. Backing vocals and layers of voice and guitar. So well done. Produced by Tim Palmer. Pretty famous producer, pretty accomplished producer. He produced a lot of the Mission UK's best work, I think. No, I love this guy's voice, man. He's flipping out, man. Listen to him. From the tips of his toes, you know? Yeah. What a voice. Oh, so good. And that's just like one of many great songs by the Mission UK. You know, like I said, it was a B-side. It was never really meant to be like a hit or anything. But I've found, you know, after being a fan of the Mission UK for, well, probably about 30 years now, a lot of their B-sides, a lot of the, you know, quote-unquote throwaway songs on their albums, you know, sometimes tend to be some of their best stuff. So, at least in my opinion, and I would consider myself, if I'm not an expert on the Mission UK, I'm pretty close. I could probably teach a class about that band. So, anyway, onward and upward we go. I'm going to share with you a track that I'm pretty sure that most of you have never heard of before. They're a group called The October Project. And, you know, just the name of the group was enough for me to be at least interested in what they sounded like. And I kind of stumbled across this group by accident. I believe I was given their first cassette by my friend Brenda to review for her magazine, US Rocker magazine. And I wound up loving this band. I saw them in concert. I bought everything they made, which was only 2 albums when it was all said and done, but they were 2 fabulous albums. I mean, they were just so good, so well done. I guess they're kind of like a little bit of like what I would consider like art teacher music. Like I imagine these women with those long dangly earrings and bracelets and teaching art class, and then they would go home and listen to the October Project. I think you'll probably get what I mean when you hear this. It's actually kind of funny to me, but this is a song called Take Me As I Am by the October Project, and it's from their self-titled debut. So here we go. Check this out. I kind of hear like a little bit of Zeppelin in this band. They're light rock though. They're not metal or heavy, but they have similarities to me to Led Zeppelin, especially when the song really starts to kick in. And this singer's voice, her name is Mary Fahl, F-A-H-L, Mary Fahl. She has like this baritone voice that reminds me kind of like Cher, I think, It's an unusual voice. It's lower. Can't you picture your art teacher dancing to this music, in ceramics class, with her short haircut and the long dangly earrings and the bracelets and the art print like shirt or dress that she'd be wearing, It's art teacher music, but I can handle that. I like her voice. I like that it's lower. Very good lyrics. It's a bit dramatic and stuff, but that's okay. Those 2 voices together, they just blend so nicely. This is great. Coming up here. Good music right here. Descending line. Bam, bam. This to me reminds me of Zeppelin. Very, very cool. Very cool. Well-written song, the music and everything. It's not easy to make music that sounds like this. There's a lot of talent. Even if you shine a light into the mirror, you won't see me any clearer. Good lyrics. Romantic, singing romantic lyrics. I like it. It's good to listen to this sometimes. they have so many great songs. This is just one, you know. But like I said, it's probably a group that you've never heard of before, and a good example of, you know, maybe getting turned on to something new today, which is, you know, ultimately the hope behind Mike TV. You know, it's not just an idea of me, you know, showcasing songs I like. It's really kind of my attempt at maybe turning you on to something that's new for you. So onward and upward we go. We're getting towards the end here for episode 3 of Mike TV. I'm going to share with you a track by one of my all-time favorites, man, Enya. This is a track called Amarantine. It's a track from the album named Amarantine, the title track. And I'm going to share this with you because she has a lot of great songs, okay, in my opinion. They're fantastic productions, unlike any other group ever in the history of music or whatever. But this track in particular came much later in Enya's career, where the technology she was using to record herself was much more advanced. I think that her style and her technique was much more developed, and therefore I like this a little bit more than maybe even some of her earlier stuff, because it's so sophisticated production wise, and her voice is like, to me, her voice is like heaven. You know, it's the sound of heaven. It's the sound of true beauty, you know, in a world where beauty gets obfuscated and, you know, is lost, you know, much of the time. We have these little snippets from Enya to remind us of what true beauty, especially in music, really is. Because the people who listen to Enya's music listen to her music when they want to feel good. You know, they don't want to be challenged. They don't want to dance. They don't want to freak out and have fun. They want to just hear something that's beautiful. So, without further ado, here we go. Amarantine by Enya from the album Amarantine. Check this out. Right out of the gate, pizzicato strings, you know, orchestra, you know.
You know when you gave your love away,
Listen to her voice.
it opened your heart. Everything is new, and you know time will always find a way to let your heart believe it's true.
Oh, it's fantastic.
You know love is everything you say. A whisper, a word, promises.
I mean, does this sound like anything else you've ever heard before? It's contemporary, but it's old at the same time. It's traditional classical instrumentation. Listen to this. It's brilliant. And she does this thing at the end of this chorus where her voice rings out for like 4 or 5 bars. Listen to this note right here. Okay, still going. Listen, hear it? It's in the background. Still going. And it's still going. She let it go. Brilliant. That's modern recording sophistication. Now listen to how lush that is. Beautiful. In my opinion, if you can't appreciate the beauty of what you're hearing right now, I can't help you. There's never been anybody that's done anything like this other than her.
For night and day belong.
One person. This is all one person making all this music. All of it. One person. Incredible. Album after album after album after album of tracks just like that. You know, she doesn't deviate from it. It's her sound. She sticks with it. And she just maybe bumps up the technology thing a little bit, or every once in a while she'll do a track where she kind of changes something a little to make it a little bit different. But most of the time, that's what you can expect from Enya. And I could never get enough of it. Anyway, so next I'm going to share with you a track from a group called The Innocence Mission. I shared a couple of their songs with you in the last episode of Mike TV, and I'm going to share a song with you right now called Joan. It's from the album Umbrella by The Innocence Mission. And I'll tell you what, I love this song, and I love a lot of the songs on this record, Umbrella, and I'm not going to talk about this too much. I'm just going to get into it. So this is a song called Joan, Joan, by The Innocence Mission. Let's check it out. Right out of the gate, like really cool drumming. Listen to the drummer. Cool ideas.
So I see that he sits at the water from the window. I know he's his night, I sees his melody. Then 7 years I've watched them sadly, watching with them understanding.
I'm not exactly sure who she's singing about, but I like that she's singing about an artist, somebody who's a painter, maybe somebody that she knew, or a famous painter that I'm not familiar with. But that's what she's singing about. Nice production. So beautiful. It's emotional though too. Cool middle 8 section right here. Listen to that guitar wobbling like that. Whoa, 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 whoa. What a voice. Such good lyrics. Such a well-written song. And the world didn't even notice. You know, it came and went. But I heard it. I was listening. Very good guitar playing. Good sound of the guitar, and a good tone. This guitar player and the singer are married, and I know that they're both really influenced by Cocteau Twins, which is a group I'll share with you eventually. But I can hear it in his guitar playing. Definitely hear Cocteau Twins in the guitar for that. So yeah, that was a song called Joan by The Innocence Mission. So anyway, now I'm going to share with you a track from a singer named Sade. Sade. Many of you probably know the song Smooth Operator. That's not what I'm going to share with you today. I'm going to share with you a song by Sade that's called Love is Stronger Than Pride. And the reason I wanted to share this track with you by Sade today is because it really is a good example, at least in my opinion, of like a very minimalistic production. Like there's a lot of sound and there's a lot of emotion and mood, but it's not like in your face and it's not like an attack of sound. It's really got a lot of gaps in it, a lot of space. It's very airy and very quiet, and it's interesting for those reasons to me, and one of my favorite tracks by Sade. But she has, I don't think she's ever done something I didn't like. So, and how many albums does she have? And talk about an artist who's done it right. This woman is so beautiful, really, truly beautiful, not Botox beautiful. And, she could be a white-haired older woman and still be performing these songs on stage. And I guarantee you, she'll still be selling out like she always has been from the day she started until right now. This woman has never played to an empty house, okay? Nor will she ever. So here we go. Without further ado, Love is Stronger Than Pride by Sade. Check this out.
I won't pretend that I intend to stop living. I won't pretend I'm good at forgiving.
She's so great.
But I can't hate you, though I have tried. I still really, really love you. Love is stronger than pride.
Sade concerts are like
Really love you.
one of the only concerts you'll ever go to where people are all happy. There's no fighting, there's people hugging each other, couples that are kissing and dancing, and it's unlike any other audience you'll ever see. I mean, just go on YouTube and watch concert performances by her, and the people in the crowd are so happy that she's singing for them, and they're in love with each other, and they're holding hands, and it's really music for people that are in love. It's amazing to be in that environment.
I still really, really love you.
Like I said, she can do this music, forever. It doesn't matter that she gets older, because she's gotten older, but she looks nice and she's sophisticated. She's not, raunchy or, skanky. She's beautiful. She's a beautiful woman. She always has been. And her band is like amazing. The guys that play in the band Sade have been with her from the beginning. They are the band Sade. Her name is Sade Adu, but their band is called Sade. And they've all been making music together for 35 or 40 years. And their fans love them. They don't like them. They love everything they do, and I'm one of them. And so is my wife. I mean, this music is music for nighttime, when you're chilling out and the candles are lit and the windows are open and the breeze is blowing through the room, and you want to just listen to some good music. Have something in the background that's chill but easy on the ears. Romantic, Nice.
Love is stronger than pride.
Listen to what she's singing about, what she's saying. People really feel this way. It's like, it's not art, man. This is like what people really feel when they're in love. listen to the music. A lot of space, tribal kind of drum thing, but not a lot of sound like in your face, you know? It's chill. Ooh, listen to that guitar. Just real tasty little licks, like not overbearing. A band gets to the point where they can make music like this only after they've been together forever. And they've been making music forever. And they can read each other's minds. And this is what can emerge from that, you know? Soft landing. Still going. Fantastic. Love is Stronger Than Pride by Sade. And I'll tell you what. She has so many great songs. And like I said, her audience, they don't like Sade. Okay, they love Sade. She is endearing to people because she always is coming from a place of gentle, romantic love. And the people who latch onto that always get what they pay for when it comes to Sade, you know? So now, here we are. Now we're down to the final track from Mike TV, episode number 3. It's a song by a group that I love, and I shared a track of theirs with you in the last episode of Mike TV, and today I'm going to share with you one of my favorites, man, by this group called The Verve. It's a song called A Man Called Sun, and I just love this song. I could listen to this music on loop, like endless loop, and not get sick of it. Again, it's music that I listen to when I paint. I like to listen to this. And, I have a song called The Water of Fire, or Singing to the Sea. And as we're listening to this song, A Man Called Sun, I'll let you see if you can hear a similarity between The Water of Fire, or Singing to the Sea by me, Mike Bostwick, PC3, and A Man Called Sun by The Verve. So here we go. Check it out. The final track of the day, A Man Called Sun. Probably the most chill song you're going to hear today. Check it out. I'll tell you what, pay attention to the bass guitar in this song. And the guitars, you know. It's very, very trippy and very creative. Nice groove with the bass. Fantastic. Listen to the guitar. Listen to this guy. One of the most creative guitar players ever. Sound awesome. Here's the chorus. Listen to this.
Walking with the man called sun, and my journey's just begun. Do you think you're mine?
Oh yeah. Vocals saturated with digital delay, echo. I love it.
He shines, then he's
mellow but psychedelic, you know?
You need him more when he's gone. Mr. Sun just shine. Mr. Sun just shine.
This song lives in so much of my music. It's in there.
Walking with the man called sun. I think my dreams just begun.
I mean, who does this sound like?
Do you think he'll mind?
Absolutely nobody else. Nobody sounds like this. I mean, maybe Stone Roses, but not quite this mellow, not quite this psychedelic. Ambient sounds swelling in and swelling out. So well done. So mellow. Perfect for working on stuff, you know? The perfect song to end this episode with, I'll tell you that. Such an underrated band. I mean, they have so many great tracks. This is just one. That bass line is still pumping, you know? Great rhythm section. I never had the chance to see these guys live. I would love it though. They haven't made a song I don't like. Such a great guitar player. Unlike any other. And his last name is McCabe. I'm forgetting his first name right now, which is a shame, but damn. 4 guys making all this sound. I love how their drummer, Peter Salisbury, is using brushes on the snare. I mean, it's so awesome. It's like so Manchester, England, you know, in the 90s, but they kind of changed it into more of a psychedelic thing. Oh, they're fantastic. So, my happy innovators, that's it for today. That's the last track. Not the last crack, but the last track for Mike TV episode 3. You know, I hope that you've enjoyed it. And, you know, if you're tuning into this for the first time, maybe you'll be interested in going back to episode 1 and 2. And don't worry, episode 4 will be coming along before you know it. And until next time, my happy innovators, have a nice day, have a nice week, stay safe, have fun, and be good to each other, you know? Peace out, everybody.